Hello, all. Good morning or good afternoon. I'm not alone, really. Just as we were getting ready to come online, Kate's mother called her, and Kate's phone was having trouble answering her, and it's an ongoing battle between um, Kate's mother's phone and our phone, or her phone. We've even gone so far as to buy them an old rotary dial desk phone that ties into their home line, and even that is starting to give them trouble. They're 91 and they're just getting real confused about everything. But anyway, thanks for coming by. I'm not sure if anybody's here, but if you do come in, Kate usually types it in, but I'll just say it. Please go ahead and click the thumbs up for us. At least it tells YouTube we're alive and well, or reasonably well. And we'll be able to keep these little things going because they're quite a bit of fun. Happy Easter to everybody. I'll probably be saying that quite a bit today. Easter is a true holiday. Perhaps one of only two or three during the whole year that really are holy. So, hi, Firefly Farm. Happy Easter to you too. Thanks for coming by. By the way, I'll probably announce this a couple of times too, but we have the large map, which is like 40 by 80 or 46 by 80 something. Anyway, it's a huge map of the world. And we've got the foam board now that we're going to mount the map on. And we got some of those Velcro strips to do that with. And then we'll use the Velcro strips and put some of those here on the wall, put the map up, and then we'll start pinning where all of our viewers are. Oh, no Easter break, huh? So you're home alone. Well, you're not alone. Yes, you're sitting in Kate's kitchen. That's what you're doing right now. You're sitting in Kate's kitchen, chatting with the residents, of whom I happen to be one. Oh, so what's been going on this week for anybody that wants to speak up? It's been a quiet week, though, luckily. Kate's week has been busy, as most of her weeks are. I feel pretty bad sometimes when I'm not as useless as what's on the board around the house anymore. Building a 10 by 20 garage storage. Whoa. Well, good on you. Hi, Ruth. Nice to see you. Thank you for coming by. Happy Easter. Did you reach your mother?
I reached her.
And?
She wanted to let me know they found her keys in my dad's pocket.
You're kidding. I don't want to spoil this for you.
Happy Easter, everyone.
You need to hear the saga of the keys. You really do. Kate, floor is yours.
I got a call from my mother yesterday morning. She was absolutely fit to be tied because she could not find her keys. So she asked me if I would come over and help her, which I went over. And we looked and couldn't find them. So she needed to do grocery shopping. We went and did the grocery shopping and came back home. She got out of the car to go into the house and had her keys in her hand, which she didn't realize that she'd found them. They had been in her purse the whole time. So she had her keys in her hand. She let herself into the house, and she and Dad unloaded the groceries, and I came home. About 30 minutes after I got home, I got a panic call from my mom. She can't find her keys. She does not know what happened to them. Would I please check my purse and my car to be sure that they hadn't fallen out of her purse and gotten lost? So I promised her I would. Went and checked my purse. Knowing full well she had them in her hand. House. Yes, she had them in her hand to get in the house. But I, can't tell.
Well, she did. She went out there and looked. I mean, I'd have just,
I did. I promised her.
I'd have called her and said, yeah, I looked.
But I promised.
Kate,
so I did. So I came back and called her, and we talked and talked. Thank you, Lori. I appreciate the Easter outfit comment. Anyway, I come back into the house, called her back, told her I didn't have them. she was just absolutely beside herself upset. And I asked her if she wanted me to come over and help her find them, and she said no, that she would keep looking. And I said, well, don't get upset. You'll find them. They're there somewhere. And then she remembered that she had the keys in her house in her hand when she went in the house. But that was the last I heard from her was last night. She still couldn't find them. She was still very upset.
Yeah, she was.
So I got the call just as we were signing on. She wanted to let me know that the keys had been found. My dad had them and had put them on a little trivet that she keeps her glass on beside her place on their dining table. And he put them there so she would be sure to find them. So she wanted us to know her keys are found.
I mean, like I was saying, okay, they're 91 years old.
Right. Be 92 in a matter of a couple of weeks.
They're both having considerable problems.
Yeah, they are.
With memory and cognition, and especially with hearing.
They both have worse hearing than I do.
Tom will not get his hearing aids fixed, and apparently Mimi's not interested in doing it either.
No, she wants to, but she won't let him drive her over there because his driving has gotten so bad, and I have not been able to take her.
Well,
So
I know
the coming week I'll be taking her.
it's it's definitely becoming very difficult to kind of keep up with Tom and Mimi because they're declining pretty fast, which is really, really sad to watch.
They truly are.
But anyway, that's not what we want to do today. Happy Easter.
Hi, Christy. Happy Easter.
This is
Yes, it is, Joe.
my, I don't do much for it anymore, but this is my favorite holiday, the one that I truly feel in my heart. And years ago, when I was in another regime, Easter usually marked a time where there was an Easter cantata, which my then wife would
Hi,
conduct,
JC.
and I would read the Easter story and go along with the cantata. And I loved doing that. I just loved it. Not for any personal adulation reasons. I just enjoyed doing it. I always thought it was a real privilege to be able to read that story to other people, knowing that they believed it, I believed it, and we were re-celebrating the events that it portrays in the Easter story.
I'm sorry, Joe. That always is a hard thing to remember.
Yeah. So anyway, that's Easter is pretty significant to me.
And it's always been a good one for me as well. For many years, I was a member of a large church, and every Easter we did the cantata, and I was generally one of the actors in the play, in the cantata, or in the choir. So,
Joe, I'm real sorry that you've lost a lot of folks since last Easter.
that's
And
true,
yeah,
Joe.
all things do end. You know, it's but I got to tell you, just yesterday, and I put this on my Facebook page too. Yesterday, I read an article about some scientists in Australia who have managed to take generic fat cells and turn them into stem cells. And the way that they did this was what they call some sort of special compound that they soaked these fat cells in. And after about 3 weeks, according to this article, they, quote, lost their identity and they became stem cells, which meant that they could be used to rebuild bone, skin, tissue, all kinds of things.
Internal organs.
And I got to thinking about this, and I ended up writing an article about it because it really does show me that we are slowly moving towards the technology that will allow us to have 150-year lifespan and have a really good quality of life for the duration of that. Now, you think about these stem cells, for example. Stem cells can actually be used to bridge the span between severed nerves. What if we could address paralysis, broken backs, broken, torn spinal cords, things like that, be able to heal that, be able to heal damaged heart tissue. I mean, heal it. I'm not talking about medication. I'm talking about something that goes in there and rebuilds it as good as it ever was or better. Torn muscles, broken bones. Who knows where this technology could go? I think sometimes I see things that are world changing, and this is one of them. This is one of the things that if this is if this is not bullshit, and if this really gets researched out, it's a game changer for the human race, folks.
My first thought was, when did you read that article the first time?
Yesterday.
Okay, because I was thinking it might have been the day I had my surgery, which was April 1st. And I saw a lot of other things out there online on April the 1st that were April Fool's jokes.
Oh, no.
Sounded real.
No, this is from one of my trusted sources.
Okay.
But every now and then, just like I opened the article, I said, every now and then I see something that kind of tickles my brain. And that
tickled everything.
That tickles my brain. I mean, that is just, and like I said in the article too, it's too late for us. I mean, but if they do another 10, 15 years of testing on this and then start to roll it out in some way, shape, or form, by mid-century, literally by mid-century, people could be looking at lifespans of 100 years or more in good health without the knees breaking down, without the hips going bad, without the arthritis, without the heart disease, without the complications of diabetes. Imagine that. Imagine that.
Yeah, that'd be wonderful.
And it's coming, folks. I mean, we won't live to see it, probably any of us here.
If it comes in the next 15 years, I will be.
But it's coming. It's coming. Now, some of this may be 50 years from now. Because a lot of this stuff is baby stuff. Now, they were saying that these stem cells probably would not work on like liver and lungs, because apparently that's a very specific type of DNA or whatever.
Okay.
But broken bones, burn scars, just start thinking about it. I mean, it blows the mind. It really does. If you start really thinking about it, you just kind of go nuts. Joe. You just kind of go nuts. So anyway, that's my pulpit time for this week. Okay. Yes, Alzheimer's, Joe. Wouldn't that be wonderful? That's one of the things I thought of first, is that because it literally could help rebuild the brain and rebuild the receptors so that the neurons can be freed up the way they were when we were young and tough.
Excuse me. Allie, we're going to have creamy chicken Florentine for dinner.
But I still have quite a bit of really, really good sirloin steak left.
Oh,
too.
Do you?
Yeah,
okay.
I still got half of that.
He'll have sirloin steak. I don't know what I'll have. We'll have creamy chicken tomorrow.
I was dying for a really good steak, so we got to carry out from Outback last night.
I may make the chicken Florentine anyway because I don't have anything left over.
And Joe, you're right. It seems like the rules in medicine is that there's always more money in treating the symptoms rather than curing the disease. I believe that probably in every major drug house in the world, in their most secret, biggest, toughest safe, they've all got cures for cancer just sitting in there. But they don't want to market it because they can treat it with everything else first. And you're right too, Joe. Life could be considered a sick joke, but it's the only joke we got. So we're a one-trick pony.
By the way,
we either live or die.
I want to thank everyone for your prayers. My dental surgery went way easier than we thought it would, and I have recovered much more quickly than anyone expected. I'm actually able to wear my dentures again.
I want to go to Allie's and eat lobster rolls and clam chowder.
Oh, I'll have to get the stuff and make that.
I've said this before too. One of the things that I would love to see, all you can eat lobster. Mm-hmm. Whoa, I could do some damage.
Potato salad and ham. That sounds good too. Yeah, Ellie, it was wonderful. I really was anticipating a lot more trouble than I ended up having.
Well, she drew the line, kind of. This doctor, first thing he wanted to do is he wanted to do a bone graft into her jaw, and he wanted to take this pin out and I guess put another one in,
They're
right?
going to put 2 more in.
So, I mean, his concept of the job was well over $1,000, and what it ended up being was $250. So,
Yeah.
because Kate would have
I
said,
would not.
I don't want a bone graft. Just
Don't want bone graft. Don't want any more pins. Don't want any more implants. I've done that 8 tries, and this last one ended up abscessing after having it for several years.
Did not go well from the get-go. From the way back whenever we had the implants, the pin implants first down over at that dental college, it got screwed up from the beginning.
JC, that's wonderful that you cook all morning in honor of your mom. What did you make?
What, making her favorite dishes, or the ones that everybody loved that she made, or what? If I had to cook in honor of my mother, what would it be? Pasties, I guess. Have to be pasties.
Probably. Italian Easter sweetbread and ricotta pie. Oh, that sounds wonderful.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, I would have to be pasties, Cornish pasties. That would be in honor of my mother.
The what's the round vegetables? Turnips. Turnips are in season right now,
Good.
And I'm gonna probably go and get the stuff to make pasties and do a video on it.
That'd be nice. That'd be fun. That'd be fun. Well, Joe, I'm glad your folks are doing well today. And you're right. Day by day is pretty much all you can hope for after a certain point.
Actually,
that's my
day by
goal.
day is all you can hope for.
That's all you can get. I mean, anybody that hopes for more than that is just wishing and win. At night when I'm ready to go to bed, first thing out of my mouth when I start talking to God, thank you for another day, Lord. I appreciate it. As poorly as I get around, as tough as it is for me to breathe, as difficult as I am to be taken care of by Kate, as little as I can do around here to be a contributor, thank you for another day, Lord. I appreciate it. I'll take anything I can get at this point. Well, almost. I mean, but yeah, I always believed that the Lord told us pretty implicitly that He would never give us more than we could handle
with Him.
But there was no guarantee that He wouldn't take us right up to the abyss, grab us by the collar, shove our head down there in that abyss, let us look around for a little while, and then pull you back, just to kind of remind you who's really in charge. So.
Joe, I think that's the way it is pretty much everywhere. Most days go well, and then you have 1 or 2 of those really awful.
Just suck rocks.
That's pretty much standard around here, I know.
Yep. Well, you know what? I figured today would be a sparse attendance. I mean, it's Easter Sunday.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm sorry she's not up to going, Christy, but I understand that. And
Yeah.
I'm glad that you're there to be with her and to help her.
So I'm particularly glad that you folks showed up.
Yes, me too.
This is where we're going for Easter, is right here. We arrived. It was a long trip. I had to come all the way from the living room.
And I took the time to make sure that my bonnet, my clothing, and my jewelry all matched because I wanted to be fancy for Easter.
She did it about 3 layers, and she came out and asked me about each one.
Hello, Eric.
She came out first with just the apron and this and did you have the hat on first?
No, I didn't at that time.
Then she came back with the hat, and I said, yeah, it's looking good. Then she came back with the necklace. Yep, thumbs up, darling. You're looking good. Looking good.
Thank you very much, Allie. I appreciate it. Hello, Ellie McAfee. Wonderful to see you too.
And happy Easter to you too.
Thank you, Eric.
And Eric, thank you. She looks beautiful.
Does she still get a basket, Christy? That's wonderful. My mom still made baskets for me and all 3 of my sisters until 2 of my 3 sisters passed away, and then she quit doing them. And we used to make baskets for her as well.
I haven't seen a Christmas basket or an Easter basket in a long time. Yeah. I haven't had, the little marshmallow bunnies. What are they called?
Peeps.
Yes, I haven't had a Peeps in years.
They're all over the stores. If
Yeah.
you want some, we can certainly get them. We'll put them in our hot chocolate at night.
Well, as of tomorrow, they'll be half price. So
Right. We do something. We started a tradition not too long ago.
we did.
Yeah, every evening or most every evening, I make us a cup of hot chocolate
That's
right before
true.
we go to
She's-
bed,
yeah,
and I
she's been
usually
doing
put
that.
marshmallows in it, and it's very comforting. It's been a lot of fun. Yeah, I
Yep.
always go for the discount stuff too, and after Christmas the same way, and after the 4th of July and Valentine's and all of that, I hit the stores the day after, except the day after Thanksgiving. And then I stay home because everybody and their brother is out there the day after Thanksgiving, and I don't want to get caught in that. Your mom needs that hat. She's allergic to the sun. I know a number of people who are allergic to the sun, Eric,
Yeah,
and
a lot more than there used to be.
I burned extremely easily. So that's one reason why I wear hats with big brims a lot, because I don't like burning. I burn really
There's some places down here in Texas where they will tell you officially in the morning it is 20 minutes in the sun and you'll start to burn and you'll start to do damage. 20 minutes.
Oh, cool. Ellie McAfee's about half an hour to 40 minutes from where they make the Peeps.
Oh, okay.
Used to make specialty baskets and sell them. I
Well,
did
I've been
that
doing-
several years, but then I quit because I just was an awful lot of trouble, and I didn't make my money back.
So I wonder if a really, really, really fresh peep tastes different than the ones that we get that are
I'm sure they
weeks
do.
and months old.
Like fresh homemade marshmallows taste better than what you get in the store.
I've never had a homemade marshmallow.
Ooh, I have, and they're wonderful. I ought to make some.
What do you make them out of? Marshmallow?
Hmm?
I said, what do you make them out of? Marshmallows?
No, I really don't know. I haven't had them in a long, long time. My sister's daughter-in-law made them all for us one Christmas, Carol's daughter-in-law. And they were wonderful, but they are much stickier than what you get at the store, even if you put cornstarch on them. But they are delicious. I really enjoyed them. That would be a fun thing to make again.
Who is making all that noise over there?
That's Gandhi.
Dandy wants out.
I can see the other two, and they're just sitting there looking at us.
Yeah. Well, I can see Bravo. I can't see Grief.
Mainly for children, a lot of superhero stuff. Yeah, I was making mine for adults, and most of it was makeup and scents, colognes and perfumes. And they were very expensive to buy, and people didn't want to put that much into a Easter basket. for
You're
some.
being scolded right now. You realize that, right?
Yes, I know. He wants me to come and get him, and I'm not going to.
He's telling her very emphatically, come and get my butt. Come take me out of this cage. I want out.
Exactly what he's saying.
Hey, human. Yeah, you. Here, come. Here.
It's more like, Mama, come get me out of here.
There's a point at which it's just, hey, you.
Yeah, true.
You,
Yeah,
you who served me.
I tried doing the Easter baskets, and I also tried doing Christmas baskets, and it was just way more expensive than people were willing to spend. Joe, I don't want to let him out because he will then pick on the other birds.
Well,
I don't wear it anymore either, Christy, but at the time I was a representative from one of the larger home sales makeup companies, and it was not Avon. So I spent a lot of money on it.
if you want to bring Dandy out and let him sit on your shoulder for a while or whatever, that's fine.
I have to take off the hat in order to do that, and I don't want to do that.
Okay.
He can stay in there, and he can.
All right, do it your way. I don't care. Do what you want.
Thank you. He'll calm down when he realizes I'm not going to get him.
I'll tell you what, they can get pretty dictatorial.
Dandy, no. Hello, Howie. Happy
Hi,
Easter
Howie.
to you.
Happy Easter to you too. Good of you to come by, partner.
Good to see you.
I said this right at the beginning, but I figured I'd repeat it. Kate got the sponge board so we can put our big map together. It's like, I don't know, 40 by 90 or something like
40
that.
by 96.
Yeah, okay, but anyway, it's big. And we got the Velcro strips to put on there to anchor that down to the board. We got some white duct tape so that we can, the foam board isn't big enough, so we got two pieces. We got to put it together, and then we'll be able to put it up on our wall.
And it will cover all across behind us.
The whole wall behind
I
us
have
will
to
be
take
nothing
all
but
my
maps.
lovely signs back down.
Or, I'd like to try to figure out a way where we can take it down and, put it up on Sunday and that's it, but we'll see. But in any case, what we'll then do is we'll put pins up there for where all you folks are. I was thinking I'd put a pin for every place I've lived. 'Cause I've lived all over the world. Well,
No, you can do that on the smaller one. We still have the smaller one.
But, it'd be nice to put a pin in Izmir, Turkey, and Madrid, Spain, and Seville, Spain. One thing on this map, when I went to Shemya, which is one of the Aleutian Islands, it is literally the next to last island in that chain. On this world map, all of the other islands are named, but not Shemya. Shemya doesn't even rate a name on this really, really good quality world map.
Does it even show the last one?
Well, it shows them, and it has near islands
Oh.
written down there. And Shemya was or is part of what they call the near islands. But Attu, which was the one that was close, about 26 miles away, the name for that one is there, but not Shemya.
Maybe they didn't know how to spell it.
Well, that place has just kind of been it's been a well-kept secret for 50, 60 years.
Wasn't that the one that Otsley and Jane went hunting on that you said you'd seen? No, that was a different one.
No. They wouldn't go to Shemya to do any hunting. There's nothing there.
Okay.
The only wildlife there was blue foxes and seabirds, and that was it.
Okay.
And the blue foxes lived off the seabirds.
And the seabirds lived off of fish.
Yeah.
Free range turkey, and the video is up. Yay! I'll go watch that when we're done, Howie. Thank you.
Christy, absolutely. He is risen. This is the most
Made 4 lemon loaves
Sig-
and
significant-
fresh made cranberry sauce. Oh, those sound wonderful.
recognizing the most significant day in Christian history, period. Christmas is nice. Easter is everything.
They're
Like I
both-
said, the death of
Thank
Jesus,
you, Howie.
the death of Jesus proved he was human. The resurrection of Jesus proves he was God.
Howie likes my outfit and my hat.
Yeah, well, I was going to be surprised if you didn't get any comments because you do look nice. You did make the effort. Me, I've got on red. That's all I got to say.
That's right. And you're red. That's good.
Yeah, red is my favorite color. In case y'all didn't know.
Well, I just
Oh,
wanted
cranberry
everything to-
sauce. You'd like that. I'm a
Yeah.
canned cranberry sauce kind of guy.
He liked the cranberry jelly stuff.
And lemon loaves. I tell you what, I'm not a big lemon fan either. So
You look pretty too. He
I
says.
look pretty cool.
No, P-U-R-T-Y.
Of
Purdy.
course, man. Oh,
How he talks the way you do.
it's okay for a guy to look pretty.
Mm-hmm.
It's not good to look pretty.
Right.
But thank you. I appreciate that, Howie. It's funny what you can do without trying.
Well, like I said, it's a special day, and I wanted to dress up and look nice for you guys. So. And this is not a dress. In fact, it is an apron. But it's a
It's one of
crossover
her,
maxi
it's one of
apron.
her faves. I'd say, how many aprons have you picked up in the last 3 or 4 months? 10 or so?
In the last 3 or 4 months, probably.
Yeah. She's got a real nice apron collection now.
Yep. And I haven't even worn them all on here yet. I have a few that I've not worn on yet. Ali says, Howie, I always color eggs for Easter. Supposed to be white eggs to absorb the dye, but I only eat cage-free, pasteurized, raised brown, so I color brown eggs. They came out kind of funky looking. I saw a thing on YouTube about dyeing eggs, and they said that dyeing the brown eggs makes them look a darker color than if you dye the white eggs.
I would think so.
I have some of both. I have white and brown, and I don't dye them.
But we
But
do
I
eat
may make some deviled eggs. Those are good. But I think probably what I'm going to do today is get some more eggs in the dehydrator because we've got 5 dozen eggs again. And then I'm going to slice up a bunch of my garlic, fresh garlic, and get that in the dehydrator so I can make some garlic powder.
Okay.
Lemon, almond flour,
Well, that
coconut
means I was
flour,
gonna smell
wild
like
grain
garlic for a couple
flour,
days.
coconut butter, free-range butter from New Zealand in my lemon loaf. That sounds wonderful.
Yeah.
Lori says the darker eggs, the brown egg, come out really pretty. I like
I was
lemon.
going to say something and now I forgot it. I hate to do that.
It'll come back. Just don't think about it.
Couldn't have been very important. That's what I always figure. If I forget it, it's been very important.
My
Of course,
mom used to
nothing-
say either it wasn't important or it was a
Yeah,
lie.
nothing I say is very important anyway. But anywho,
I don't know. What you say is important to me.
well, thank you.
Mhm. You knew that.
Well, I had my suspicions.
Christy's hens are free ranging right
Hiding
now,
their
and
eggs.
hiding their eggs. The rascals.
Somehow, Christy, I don't see chickens as being bright enough to hide their eggs, but maybe I'm wrong.
I'm invited to feast as what's left over I will bring to the homeless camp.
Good for you, Howie.
Yes. Howie donates quite a lot to the homeless and to the local food bank. He gets a lot more than he can use out of his food forest.
That's great. Good for you.
Having been someone who used to live on food from the food bank, I have got to say thank you from all of those
Yeah.
who are getting your donations.
Good on you, Howie.
I am blessed in that I don't have to live on what I get from the food bank anymore. But for a while there, I did. And I've got to say,
We did well on it. I
yeah,
mean,
we
you know,
did.
it didn't tasted just as good.
Yes, it did. Yes, it did.
In fact, we might have eaten better then because you made a sincere effort to use whatever we got, which was oftentimes things that we would not have bought on our own.
Right.
So we had more variety, I guess you'd say. Chickens
Christmas
back on the front
chickens.
door begging for treats. Wow, you got some smart chickens there, Christy.
Our chickens are continuing to lay. They did not slow down during the winter at all. And when they started laying, we got them last, June, I
Seems like
think.
so last summer, I think.
And by the time August rolled around, they had started laying. And we get between 15 and 24 eggs a day.
Firefly, what are you building?
Building this, I gotta lay down. Well, you need to lay down for a while then, Lori. Don't wear yourself out. Says someone
Is she
who
putting?
wears
Is
myself out all the
that
time.
the outdoor garage, detached garage she's working on? Is that right?
I don't
Way
know.
back
I
up in the
hadn't seen
beginning, I
what
think she
was
mentioned
doing.
that she was working on building a shed of some sort.
Food bank is called The Living Edge on our 24-hour live stream on April 22nd for Earth Day. All money donated will be donated to The Living Edge as we need a new van. That's wonderful, Howie. That is wonderful. Now, you're going to do the 24-hour live stream on the 22nd. When is your procedure? Is that the 24th?
Yeah, in the garage building. That was right. Well, you take care if you're going to go lay down.
Get some rest, Lori.
Wow,
Got
6-year-old
4
chicken.
chickens, only 6 years old.
That's
Oh,
an
my
old chicken.
goodness. That's not a chicken. That's a pet.
I don't know where you would want to make a note of this, but on the 22nd,
On what?
on the 22nd for Howie's
Yeah, that's the 24-hour
stream?
live stream.
we ought to try to make a donation to that while it's on.
I can do that. And I always go to his 24-hour live stream.
Seems like we would be able to donate a bit to that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Kate and I are finally at a point in our lives where we're not living from paycheck to paycheck. So we have a little bit of money in the bank. It's by no means a lot. We probably wouldn't even match up with the national recommendations for what people already should have in the bank versus what we really have. But what we really have is abundantly more than what we used to have. And there are occasions that are coming up that are kind of calling out to both of us for some kind of financial help. Because that's pretty much all I can provide. I wish I could do the manpower thing because I would, being retired. But the best thing we can do is what Americans always do, throw more money at the problem. But at least we're in a position where we could actually contribute a little bit to some of these things. So
How
trying to help out in our own way.
is that LGG4 or 1GG4?
What?
Yes, we do plan ahead, and we do take advantage of the food bank and a number of other things that were out there for us. And I also, when they would come in and have a huge amount of something, for instance, one time I went and they had onions. They had hundreds of pounds of onions. They could not give away most of the onions, and I brought home 100 pounds of onions and canned them and took them back, and they gave them to people. So
Whenever she would get stuff in the food bank, though, when she get home, there's 3 or 4 other families around close by that didn't necessarily go to the food bank but needed help anyway. Just, you know, some people will take advantage of those benefits and others won't. So Kate would call them up and say, you know, I've got 82 gallons of tomato sauce. Would you like some? And so she shared from what we got and spread it out even further just to cut down and make sure there was minimal waste. And even at that, we still ended up losing quite a bit of fresh produce over time because it's just couldn't use it fast enough.
that's right.
But
Allie, we will add you're looking for work to the prayer list.
now the 22nd will be when those treatments are.
Mm-hmm.
No category for.
Are you going to be doing that from they said your April 22nd was your 24-hour Earth Day, and also this, are you going to be doing your 24-hour Earth Day live stream from the Cancer Center, or am I missing something? You're welcome, Allie. I know what it's like to lose a family member you're very close to. And I'm staring that in the face again very soon if my mom and dad and Tom keep going down the way they have been.
Yep. We can see the reality of it, but that's a whole lot different than facing it.
Yeah. And preparing for it is something you just can't do.
You can see it coming, but it's an abstract thing, you know? That's, to me, death is a terribly abstract concept. You know, you realize that it is a reality. I mean, we see it around us every day. But none of us understand it. Not really.